Hello and welcome to this Illustrators Australia Artist Talk with Lauren Saunders. We're very happy to have you here, Lauren. Thanks for being here. We're here as part of Illustrators Australia membership drive 2026. And this is a series of talks that we do over the membership drive. And we're very happy to be coming to you. I'm in my studio in Melbourne on Wurundjeri land. Lauren, do you want to tell us where you are?
Yep, I'm coming to you from Gayamagal land on the northern beaches of Sydney.
Thank you. And Anna is in the background and she's got the little slide show for us. We're getting your full browser there, but we'd like to acknowledge, here we go. We're going through the slides quicker than me, but we'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we work and play and make art, and acknowledge that the land was never ceded, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. We've just gone through the little presentation in record time, but that's fine. If you'd like to know more about the membership drive, please check out the link we'll include below, but it's illustratorsaustralia.com/join. We've got a Instagram account you can follow and Facebook accounts, as well as being here on YouTube. Thank you to everyone here on the premiere and watching later in our YouTube. Please do subscribe. We'll be hopefully bringing you these more regularly. And today I'm very excited to be presenting for the first time. And Lauren is a wonderful guest. I met Lauren very briefly at the Kidlet Vic conference earlier this year, not knowing that I had. But thank you, Lauren. You mentioned I had handed you a badge. I should have one on me, but I don't, for Illustrators Australia. And I was just so delighted to see your portfolio and the wonderful little sticker on it that said you're a Bologna winner, which is so exciting. For those who don't know, Bologna is a world children's book fair held in Bologna in Italy annually. Or is it biannually? It's annually, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's incredible to have a local Australian artist win one of the 75 exhibition spaces during that show, and I was just blown away to see your work in person. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having
No,
me.
my pleasure. Our pleasure. Our talk today centres on the theme of play, and I was very excited to hear that that's fundamental to your work. So I was just going to start by asking you a little bit about your childhood and how did your childhood allow for creativity and play? Is it a very permissive family and creative family you grew up in?
Well, I was one of five kids and I'm one of a triplet. So, looking
Wow.
back on my childhood, there was actually a lot of space to create and play. Um, I think because my parents were always so busy, like dad was full time, working full time, mum was working probably more than full time, trying to keep us all alive and fed, and yeah, doing all the logistics of the stay-at-home mum stuff. We were kind of left to our own devices a lot of the time, and because there were five of us, there was always someone to play with, and we always had these kind of creative projects going on in the background. Yeah, so I guess there was a lot of space and time for us to yeah, just play. We drew, we painted. My sister and I, for a little while, we had our own little, we made sewed teddy bears and we decided to have a teddy bear making business and we sold a few and then that kind of petered out and we moved on to other stuff. Um, yeah, and I think oh yeah, go on. Yeah.
I was going to ask about your brother. You said that he is also an illustrator.
Yeah,
Not to
yeah.
make this
So
about him, but
yeah, no, I love mentioning Dan. So one of the triplets is Daniel Gray Barnett, and he's I mean amazing, and just been the biggest inspiration and encouragement to me in my little fledgling career. So yeah, so we've got two out of three triplets are illustrators, which is funny, and then the third triplet is also a very talented painter, and yeah, but he just does it for fun. So yeah, that's
wow.
that.
Were your parents creative in that way, or
Um,
did it? Is there a history of that, or do you think it just has only had time to? Do you think you kind of need space in your lives to allow that creativity to come through, and it just did for you guys? But
Yeah, I mean, I think like looking back at my family's history, there were creative people on my mum's side. So mum was always very good at making things, and I remember I mean, being having five kids, she didn't really have much space and spare time
mm,
to explore these creative avenues. But I remember once she enrolled in a Chinese ink painting class. So that's her
mm,
heritage, and she enrolled in a local class, and she did these amazing big scrolls with like beautiful vertical landscapes and like waterfalls and cliffs and stuff. And she had her pieces included in like the end of term exhibition and sold a whole bunch of artworks.
wow.
So I just remember that moment. That was one moment in my childhood where we got to see her
Mm,
coming live creatively, and she was funny. We always wondered why didn't she keep going with it, and she's the sort of person who does a project, ticks it off, and then moves on to the next thing. So yeah, but she was always very creative, like always making things, and she had a curtain making business for a while, and yeah, she's a bit of an entrepreneur. So um,
wow.
yeah, and then her dad was a very good painter, and he actually, I think she told me that he had painted some murals over in China or something. Anyway, I've got to find the details, but yeah, he
Wow.
was a painter. So
That's really interesting because that kind of leads to my next question, which is that, how did you keep that creative spirit alive in your teens, or did you? A lot of the time people get to those sort of early adolescent years, and even though we all play and make art as children, sometimes there's something that comes in, whether it's, something negative from the outside or from the inside, potentially. I think it's usually from the outside that crushes that creative spirit. Did that happen to you? Or did you
um,
manage to keep going?
I I kept it going all the way through school. So I've actually got some early, like some preschool. I have
Oh,
this
we'd love to see it.
Mine plate
Oh,
um,
wow.
from 5-year-old Lauren. So I love drawing birds even back then. And I keep random stuff. That's a drawing from when I was 4. So it
Can
started
you might have
very
to put it in
early.
front of you, Lauren. Show us again, but put it where your head is.
There we go. That's
Fantastic.
self-portrait of me as a 4-year-old. And then and then I found these books that I'd made in kindergarten, and this one would never be published now.
It's
Called
not it's not going to focus on it.
Oh,
If you
sorry.
move a bit closer, I think oh yeah, that's it.
There we
Great.
go. About a hippo and a
Wow.
snake, and the hippo does not like being fat, and then it gets transformed by this magic snake. Anyway, it's totally inappropriate, but yeah, I loved making stuff as a kid, and that continued all through school. Art was always my favorite subject, and then for the HSC, I ended up doing 2-unit and 3-unit art, and I just did it all the way through, not thinking about a possible career. I just did it because I loved it. But then after school, I think it kind of just petered out. There wasn't a particular moment that ended it, but I guess the opportunity to make art on a regular basis, it just kind of ended when I left school. So once I left school, I just like, okay, now's the time to think about a career. I never really considered a career as an artist because I think I had the idea that you had to be absolutely phenomenal to be a professional artist. And while I enjoyed making art and I was pretty good at it, I didn't think I was good enough to actually make money from it. So I never really considered a career in arts, and I didn't even know about illustration as a possible career or
Wow.
anything. All
So
I
what
yeah,
changed? Oh, sorry, go on.
oh yeah. I just knew that I didn't want to go into like an office job, which is actually where I've ended up. But I dabbled around with like going into possibly filmmaking, did some volunteer work on some short
Mm.
films and loved that. But I knew I wasn't actually passionate enough about it to make a career in such a competitive industry. Yeah, so I kind of started a media degree, dropped out, didn't really know what I was doing or have a plan, and so then I just kind of said yes to practical opportunities that came up. I went and got a job, and then other opportunities came up, kept saying yes because I didn't really have a plan still, still figuring out what I wanted to do. And then like 20 years later, I had somehow built this pretty successful career as a data analyst, and spent most of my
Yay.
day like looking at numbers. Where the most creative part of my job was choosing the color scheme for a pie chart. And now I work as a data analyst for the government, so even the colors are preset, so you don't even have choice about that. So I was a little bit sad.
Um,
So yeah,
so what happened? What happened to bring you back onto the path?
well, this is probably a pretty common story. So yeah, so over the way, I kind of dabbled in like I had little creative projects on the side as hobbies. And then as life got fuller and busier, so I got married, had kids, bought a house, had a mortgage to pay for. The creativity kind of petered out to pretty much nothing. And then during COVID, the catalyst, so it was about 2020, 2021. That was the turning point for me. So I'd been working as a data analyst for years and years. I was working pretty much full time. Our eldest had just started school and COVID happened. And so had the fun of being a mum to two, and trying to do the weird homeschooling thing and working pretty much full time, and it was really stressful. And I knew the job that I was doing um, wasn't wasn't for personally fulfilling. It paid the bills, and it was good. I could do it, but yeah, it didn't fill me up. And over the years, I'd actually watched like friends and family who had built creative careers, like my brother. And I'm also good friends with Beck and Matt Stanton. And yeah, so I'd seen them kind of yeah, be able to make a living from this. And I watched them going, oh, I wish I could do something like that. But I was at the point where I didn't think I could seriously start all over again with all the obligations and the commitments that I had. But yeah, but it wasn't until COVID where yeah, I was just in this moment of stress and felt really trapped. Like I couldn't see myself continuing with this job, but I didn't know a way out. And got to a point where I was really miserable. My mental health suffered. I had a bit of a breakdown actually, and sensibly went and got help. So, yeah, big
Well
advocate
done.
getting help when your mental health is not in its best state, just like you'd see a doctor.
Yeah,
So I took a few weeks off work. Yeah, just to give myself a bit of a break. And during that time, I realized I just needed to find something to fill up my cup. So for the first time in probably years, I picked up a pencil, started drawing just for the fun of it. And I mean, after not drawing for ages, it was pretty terrible. And I cringe to look back at it. But I also love looking back at it because that was when I rediscovered um, just how much I loved drawing. And I just set aside a bit of time each day just to draw. And that was just like my golden part of the day. And
mm,
yeah, and so I just kept drawing, drawing. And then I started thinking, oh, maybe I could give this a go. Like if this um, makes me feel so good and it makes me a better person overall, helps me to be a better mum, better wife, well, maybe it's worth investing in, even if it doesn't bring in money.
yeah,
So yeah, so then I think it was a few months later when I really decided, yeah, this is for me. It was I decided to enter the inaugural Little Hair Illustration Prize run by Heidi Grant.
great.
And and I loved just going through the process of working on that entry and thinking about the characters and sketching all the different scenarios and in the week leading up to the deadline, I had severely underestimated just how long it takes to pull something like this together. And so I was pulling these all-nighter things. Yeah, just working my butt off to try and get everything done by the deadline and submitted. And at the end of the week, I realized, yeah, exhausting. I hadn't worked that hard in probably years, but I absolutely loved every minute. And that's when I decided, yeah, I'm going to give this a go.
That's really interesting. That kind of contrast between knowing how bland life can be when you are just working 9 to 5, and that moment of being creative, and when, especially when you've been feeling low, was that just like a sort of sudden epiphany realization that you had to have this as part of your life?
Yeah, yeah, there was not really any question of going back. It had to be
Yeah.
in my life in some form. And even if I never made any money from it, I was determined that it would be an important part of my life.
We have to get to your story of getting to Bologna soon, because I want to see and share, you're willing to share your portfolio with. But can I just clarify, did you choose a time of day that you would set aside every day to make art? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, and it changed each day depending on what
Okay.
commitments I had and yeah, what the schedule was with the kids. But yeah, my husband was really supportive, so he would take the kids out on the weekend, like in the morning, and I'd have an hour just to draw and
Okay, great.
come that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
so just an
Sometimes it would
hour.
be carved out at night after people had gone to bed. So
Yeah, great.
yeah.
Well, you said that play was kind of pivotal in. I'm squashing two questions together here because we were going to do this later, but we've got a time constraint. So, you said that play was pivotal in your Bologna journey, and we'd love to see your portfolio. But can you tell us first the story of the
Yeah.
play and how it led to you winning an
Yeah.
international prize,
Yeah.
as well
So
as other successes you've had, I know.
yeah,
Noted.
so last year I decided to set myself a bit of a challenge. So once a week, every Friday, I would just do an illustration just for fun based on a series of prompts. And I've got the little box here actually.
Awesome.
See that? So on all these little bits of paper, I had one set that had a list of characters, another was a set of actions, and the other was a set of mediums. And so I just wanted to stretch myself and do maybe characters and scenarios and mediums that I wouldn't normally choose. And so this one is like, what's this combination? Elephant crying in Chinese ink. Um,
Wow.
so the prompts that I pulled out one Friday were bird sneaking and in acrylic. And I've actually got this here.
You've got to see this actual book. So just to paint everyone a picture.
Oh yeah, so
Um,
this is the original sketch. Can you see that?
Beautiful.
What was old.
That's
And
fantastic.
I really liked it, and I liked the little character that came out. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if it kind of felt like it already had a story. I wanted to know what happened next to this little bird. Yeah, so then that led to should I show my online book? That led to
I,
okay.
It would be great to see the portfolio you had,
Oh,
because a lot of people have a very boring book,
oh
but
God.
Lauren has this magnificent
I,
sort of handmade book with what looks like real artwork, but I'm sure they're prints, because
yeah, yeah,
but they
uh,
are stunning with layers of trace between them. And she had her whole table display was very three-dimensional compared to the rest of us, and yeah, very impressive.
yeah. I'll show the slideshow, but
Thank you.
that's what the bird ended up as. But yeah, I have a problem with starting a task and going, oh, well, I think I'd like to learn how to bookbind, or I'd like to make my own little postcard displays that can be flat packed, and I really like to
You
carry them.
made those? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
cardboard. Yeah, I'll post a link or something. It was really
Oh,
easy.
that's so impressive.
Oh,
I have those urges, but they don't end up as beautiful as yours. So very impressive. If you
yeah,
want to share your slideshow, that would be amazing.
yeah,
If you've
sure. So
got
I'll
some,
just share my screen. Let me know when
maybe
you
I can
see that.
ask you some
Yeah,
questions.
beautiful.
Yay.
Okay. So
Um,
yeah, these were the five
wow.
illustrations that were accepted at Bologna. So yeah, I actually created them to, oh, and this one was an extra bonus one, but it crept into my, it's just one of the five, but it's in the portfolio. But
Yeah.
I actually created these for a different competition. So over the last 5 years, I've just tried to enter as many competitions as I can. And yeah, and so I had them done for another competition. I entered them and they just happened to be ready at the for the deadline for Bologna. And I thought, oh, why not? I've entered twice before. Never expecting anything from it because it's so competitive. I mean, this year there were
Mm.
over 4,000 entries and um, yeah, and so I sent them off, not expecting to hear anything. And then mid-January, I found out I'd been shortlisted as finalist, which was absolutely wild. Could not believe it. And yeah, so selected as one of 317 finalists. Um, and then a couple of weeks later, I found out I'd been selected as one of the winners that would have their work exhibited at the fair. Um,
That's
and
so wonderful.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank
That's
you.
an
Yeah, it was.
incredible achievement.
I couldn't believe it. So yeah, when I found out the news, I decided, yes, I have to go. This is a once in a lifetime thing, to see my work at the fair. So yeah,
How was that experience? Did you get to meet a lot of publishers and like
yeah, it was incredible.
illustrators?
It was like Disneyland for illustrators or book creators. Just being able to be there with I mean here illustrators like Beatrice Alemania and Katia Chen talk about they talked about play and experimenting and everything and I got to meet Sophie Blackall and oops, sorry, I got a toddler in the background here. Let me know if he gets too loud.
Fine.
Yeah.
Toddlers are always welcome.
Yeah. I got to meet Felicita Sala and Victoria Semikina. These are illustrators, like international illustrators that I've just worshipped and followed for ages. And yeah, getting to meet them and show them my work. Yeah, that was just incredible. Like just kept pinching myself. It was all just felt like a
Mm.
dream. Yeah. I'll go through more. Oh yeah, so this was another one entered created for a competition. Um, this one is from a series that I did, my interpretation of Jack and the Beanstalk. There's Jack meeting the giant. Um, and yeah, another entry. I like taking part in Folktale Week each year. So this was for 1 year. Oh, and then in the lead up to Bologna, I needed some extra work in my portfolio. So I was just madly I think I did 8 new pieces in 2 months. So this was from a series based on the triplets. Um, and there's us and our poor little sister watching them. And this is kind of like a reflection of her experience growing up with three older siblings who are triplets. And so I yeah did a little series based on our our childhood. And then I did a few based on my one of my favorite stories of all time, The Velveteen Rabbit, which I still cannot read without crying.
I'm
Um,
sorry, I got like dropped out for a few minutes there.
oh, that's okay.
Did you just, Anna, can I just check that the recording's still okay? It looks like I just got lost.
That's
My
okay.
it was my internet. Sorry, excuse me,
No
everybody.
worries.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so when I was madly trying to do new work for the portfolio in the 2 months leading up to Bologna. I set kind of a number that I wanted to have in there, and so ended up madly doing like 8 pieces in 2 months. This was from a series that I did on the triplets, so me and my siblings,
I
plus
wondered. Yeah.
poor little sister, who was kind of always trying to keep up and always slightly left out and left behind. So this is tribute to our childhood.
Mm, that's
And our younger brother
beautiful.
didn't even get a look in. We've got also a younger sibling, little brother who doesn't even feature in these. So yeah, poor thing. Um, and then the last three are just a tribute to my one of my favorite picture books. Sorry, one of my
Mm,
favorite books, and picture books, The Velveteen Rabbit. Uh,
mm.
yeah.
Are
on
these
the.
all acrylic? Can you tell us about your
Yeah,
mediums for a
yes.
second?
Yep. Yeah, so the mediums I've been really loving playing with lately are acrylic paints and then I love color, I love texture, so I'll use charcoal and pastel and pencils just to
Mm.
have layers and layers of stuff. Yeah, but I've actually started using I can't buy and I can't use expensive materials and I can't use them well. I think it's just I feel too much pressure, and so I invested in student grade acrylics, and I can do better work with those because I feel like there's less pressure. I don't have to like consume them because they're so valuable. And yeah, so these all these artworks, the originals are probably not archival quality, and I will probably never make a living from selling original artworks, but it does the job.
Oh, they're fantastic, Lauren. Well, that's one of the things about illustration, isn't it? That you don't have to have permanent, originals because you can, have the permanent book and the prints. They're absolutely wonderful artworks, so full of atmosphere and color and light. Especially appreciate that. And I wondered how the European audience must have received them well. I think they speak to something of the European sensibility. Did you get that sense as well?
Yeah, maybe. And then maybe it's from some of the influencers and the people that I really admire. There are a lot of international illustrators that I just, yeah, love their work. And so maybe they that's kind of filtered through into my work. Yeah, so
Mm,
yeah, maybe it's a bit different to stuff that you'd normally see here in Australia. Yeah, I don't know.
great.
But yeah,
I've
there's
got,
some amazing stuff over in Bologna, like just really wild and really different.
yeah,
It's really exciting. So.
that is fascinating. I just had three questions in 3 minutes. Let's finish it up. Do you think discipline or play is more important? Trick
Oh,
question.
yeah, this is a good question. Both are really important. I think you can't have one without the other. I think it's so fun to play, and I think we need to keep the fun in our work as creatives. Otherwise, yeah, it can be really it can grind you down. But then you have to just be so disciplined to do the work, sit down and make the art, make the bad art, just push through and do all the bad drawings to get to the good stuff and to build up the muscle memory.
Mm,
And you have to set yourself goals because otherwise, like I did for 3 years, I was kind of really meandering and didn't really know what I was doing, and yeah, didn't have a lot of direction.
mm.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you
That
need a
that
healthy balance of both.
that's a great answer. Um, how do you stay inspired and keep aspiring to your goals? And the final question, I'm just going to put it in there too, is what are your goals, your creative goals, and what's the
Yeah.
future hold for you?
Well, I think, yeah, I get a lot of inspiration from looking at other illustrators on social media and online, and especially the ones that share their experiments and their processes, and they're willing to share the messy stuff and the play. And I get really inspired by those, and I think, oh, I could try that. And I'm more inspired by that stuff rather than like the really polished, perfect artworks
Mm,
where I feel a bit um, more distance from those. I feel like, oh, I love them and they're beautiful, but I feel like, oh, I don't know if I could ever do anything like that. And so, yeah, so I'm really inspired by the people who share the messy human mistakes.
mm,
Um, yeah, I collect picture books. I have a terrible sized collection that is just I need more shelves to hold them all. Um,
same.
and I love following what aspiring illustrators are doing. I think people who aren't necessarily working to a project, there's some really exciting stuff. Like there's a lot of freedom in there. There's a lot of really exciting stuff happening. And one person I recently discovered, I think she's based on the Sunshine Coast, Jessica Corcoran. She's doing some really cool stuff with, I think it's acrylics mainly, but it's like these big blobby textures and wild characters. And she has these crazy scenes where there's like wild creatures chasing adults while there are children watching and laughing. And it's all like crazy and fun. And yeah, I'm really loving her stuff at the moment. So But yeah, like I said before, there's all the professional illustrators that I love following as well, like Beatrice Alamagna, Victoria Semikina, Katya Chin. Yeah, Zimamura, she's doing some beautiful stuff. And yeah, Sydney Smith. Oh, Sean Tan. I mean, oh my goodness. Like I had the pleasure of going to a recent exhibition to see
Yeah.
his works and some of his original like storyboards and stuff. And even a few
Mm,
of us even met him there, which was just like, oh, that was
yeah.
a dream. So
So you
yeah,
are fulfilling your dreams, but
yeah.
when can we hold a Lauren Saunders book in our hands? What's next?
Hopefully not too far away. I mean, I know publishing industry is a slow process, but I'm
You
having a
have some interest?
yeah, just after Bologna, and yeah, since Bologna, I've had been having conversations with some publishers about potential projects, and I'm working on a storyboard at the moment that one is interested in taking to an acquisitions meeting. This is loosely based around the bird series that I did for Bologna. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to work on a picture book soon, which yeah, is really exciting. That'd be
There
an
must
absolute.
have been publishers like knocking at your door surely after seeing your exhibition at Bologna.
It's just opened up a whole bunch of opportunities that I was absolutely not expecting this year. My goal for this year was like I started 2 years ago, Margareta Lemon's Pitch Perfect Portfolio course, and I had
Uh-huh.
finishing it in a year, and it dragged on a bit because I'm slow. But yeah, my goal was to finish the course this year and then keep making work. But yeah, now I've got these opportunities that have popped up. So yeah,
It's
it's
just
yeah,
wonderful, inspiring for all of our aspiring illustrators and members of Illustrators Australia and anyone out there who, shares the dream to
yeah,
one day illustrate children's books or do anything creative. That, if you do set the kind of discipline and the goals and allow yourself play and freedom, but make the time every day or as regularly as possible to do it, that, yeah, incredible dreams like becoming a winner at Bologna can come true
yeah,
within the time
yeah,
frame you did is pretty mind-blowing.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's been yeah, but so fun.
you must feel very proud, and I'm
Yeah.
sure your family are too. And your
Yeah.
brother's probably slightly jealous, I imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah. One day we'll get to Bologna together.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and all your creativity and inspiration and your whole story with us.
Oh, that's
It's
all right. It's been
been,
a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
and if you had any wise words for upcoming illustrators, I'm putting you on the spot there. Just,
Um, just keep going, just keep working, keep doing what you love. Even if you can't see any immediate results now, you never know what's going to happen in the future. So yeah, just keep doing what you love. Keep working. Yeah, you're
and
doing
then
great.
it's always worth it, isn't it? If you're doing what you love, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter the result. So thank you so much, Lauren. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good luck with the
Thank
next
you.
part. Can't wait to
Thanks
see
so
what you
much.
do next.
Yeah.